up there, sure. So there's that. Then she spent all this time saying she wants nothing to do with housewives, which I get it. That's a great thing to say. It's over, move on. My criticism sometimes is that people don't move on. Now we've learned that podcasts and she's leaning back in. That's okay. I understand leaning in and making a dollar. No one respects a hustle more than me. But I mean, man, she has gone off. You know how you've all been saying Bethenny's gone off the rails, and I'm not so sure about that. I think Bethenny has gone off the rails. I mean, I don't know. She's talking about this 24/7. I mean, and at this point, I mean, you can't say it's not personal. I mean, it seems personal to me. Everything is now about Andy. Andy. I know she explained the Watch What Happens, and she was on there, and Bryn was backstage, and Jeff was there, and she likes Jeff Lewis, and she felt disrespected. She understands how it works. I love. Look, she has some. This is the problem with Bethenny. You don't necessarily know if she's the right person for the reckoning to lead it. You don't always like her delivery, but she does make good points. And by the way, I mean, I really actually like Bethenny and respect her as just a brilliant, brilliant businesswoman. But, when she's saying like, Andy got rich and the rest of us just got dirty or whatever she said, and that Andy got filthy rich and the rest of us, as she said, Andy's always protected while his guests are fucking skinned alive. Okay. And that he got rich while the rest of, filthy rich while the rest of us just got filthy. She has points. She doesn't, she was then alluding to the fact that, when you come on Watch What Happens, you get asked questions like, who's the ugliest housewife? Who's the fattest housewife? Who's the poorest housewife? Obviously, she's making those questions up, but we get your point, Bethenny. So she has a point, but this back and forth, listen, Andy is good at the shade. Bethenny is good at the shade. And so I don't understand. Is this going to just go back and forth in the press? Like it's, there's no end to that. So I don't really know what's going on. Jessel said, from the New York that, she thinks the most overrated housewife is Bethenny. Bethenny is now saying, which I don't necessarily disagree with her. I'm all about the production and the conspiracy theory, but it's true. I've seen it happen. Bethenny is now saying, like, before you go out there, let me tell you how it works. Andy comes to your dressing room and says, this is what we're going to talk about. And I mean, look, I do these shows with people and people come on the Zoom, and before I hit record, they're like, we're not going to say this and we're going to say this. And unless there's publicists and agents and it's a whole thing that I've agreed to, no, nothing is off limits. Sorry, you're not going to tell me what questions to ask or how to answer, or, so I don't necessarily think it's untrue that, when she says that, that he comes to the room and says this and that. So do I think that was like planned? Possibly, sure. Who's the most overrated housewife? She's on New York and it's a chance to slam Bethenny. I mean, he loves his Ramona. He loves his Luann. He even loves his Sonia. So yeah, I kind of agree with Bethenny, that probably was planned. I mean, Jessel, Bethenny also did say, when you're on a franchise that is, out of its heyday or whatever she said. So read what she said. She slammed Jessel. But I don't know, like this whole Bethenny Andy thing, I'm kind of here for it. I kind of do find it interesting. I do kind of have my popcorn, but where is this going to go? I mean, when people come after me in a public setting, I don't respond. That is, to me, how to handle it, because it's just a waste of time. Now, you all would love it. The only people that win, like I do kind of have my popcorn here with Andy and Bethenny, but when someone comes at me in a public setting, I won't respond. I am so good. I can honestly say, I'm going to pat myself on the back. I am so good at the clapback. It comes completely natural. I could be on any reality show and have my one-liners without even thinking about it. Just good at that. So it's so hard for me not to respond to anything ever, but it's just not the way to go. It's a waste of time. You focus on yourself. So I don't know where this is going to go. Andy's running he's running Watch What Happens and Radio Andy. And isn't he busy? I don't know. So the net of, I hope you guys liked the interview. I just wanted to take a few minutes with Just David because this is Patreon. I wanted to give you guys a little little something extra. And basically that's where we net. I am so excited for Beverly Hills. I think the trailer looks great. We'll see what happens. Potomac, I'm really excited. I think we have some nuggets to work with. Less excited. I was a little bored at times during the trailer, and I think it could go one way or another. And Bethenny, there's all this stuff going on with Andy and Jessel. I say to Bethenny, what happened to the reality reckoning? What happened to the cause? Where's that? Where are all the people that reached out, that currently work with Bravo, that say they're afraid to speak to you and you're going to help them? This is no shade to her or the attorneys. We had Mark Garagos on, but where's all that? And then in other news, just quickly to wrap up, Kim Zolciak is still hawking her shit online. There's the shoes now she's added to the bags. Kim, nobody wants it. Like, listen, here's my thing. We all know that I don't like to buy fake. When something sells out, it's sold out. Now, my Louis contact, nothing ever sells out for me, but other brands. So if something's sold out, I go on a third-party website and I'll buy it there. It's always more money than if you just bought it before it sold out. But there are certain third-party websites where it's guaranteed authentic. So that, sure, like if I'm going to buy something from one of 5 websites or whatever, it is authentic. Granted, if it's a Louis Vuitton, it's not going to sell out for me. But even the other brands like Gucci and Prada, I could tell in 2 seconds, but it is authentic. This is just me. If Kim Zolciak had the bag I was dying for, I would never buy it from her. I don't care how much it is. How do you trust Kim that's an authentic bag? That's my only thing. I'm sure it is authentic, but how do you trust it? I mean, this is Kim Zolciak. She needs the money. We've seen it. I would never buy a pair of Manolos or Jimmy Choos or any bag from Kim Zolciak. That is just me. Granted, people have also been posting that, like, here's what she showed and here's what I actually got and why is it ripped inside and why are there stains? Oh, wait, Kim, I want a refund. Well, guess what? If you went to that reputable third-party site and it's not in the condition it says it is, it's a whole thing. Just never happens. So that's that. Lala has said that she felt very disconnected to this season of Vanderpump Rules and totally checked out. That may be the case. I have some breaking news here behind the velvet rope. Lala Kent is not quitting Vanderpump Rules. So that's great that Lala says that. She ain't quitting. Come on now. I guess that's it. Have I worn you out? I've kind of worn myself out. So thank you for listening to our interview with Miss Nicole Carasquiglo. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned more about the inner workings of lookers. And we have more stuff coming. And by the way, for everyone, because you all say it, you'll say it again after this interview, for everyone that thinks I'm Team Trey and I'm trying to take down Melissa just because I did this whole thing about our housewarming, I'm Team Nobody. So if anybody out there has worked with Louis or worked for Teresa or went to one of Teresa's, if anyone out there has something inside that can be verified through my methods on Teresa, by all means, reach out. I mean, seriously, I'm more than happy to get someone that worked with Teresa in whatever job she had and could say something about her or could dispel something that she said was true or something. So if you think I'm Team Teresa, I'm not, and put your money where your mouth is, reach out to me in a DM and let's go. I'm more than happy to bring to light something about Teresa Giudice, who, yes, I don't necessarily like any better or worse than Melissa. Everyone thinks I have a side. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, don't care enough to have a side. I'm just here for you guys to tell you what I think and how it's really working. I hope you like this. It was Little Just David. We got some